Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Life with Patty, and welcome to Tea Tuesday. Ooh, there's a glare right on my glasses. So it's Tuesday morning. I was hoping to have my video recorded last night, but I got home from the hospital from seeing my husband, excuse me, and I recorded my Dollar Tree haul, which I've already posted. I started painting a board for my Alice in Wonderland collab that I'm doing with Kathy this weekend. My daughter-in-law called me. My daughter-in-law that lives here, a good friend of ours. Oh, what a terrible tragedy. My daughter-in-law's like second mother to her, and she's a good friend of mine as well. She and her husband and another couple that I worked with, the other lady, when I worked at the Italian restaurant, they went down in a helicopter crash and all four died. And so it's just, we can't wrap our brains around the fact that this happened. And she's the same age as me. Both girls are the same age as me, and their husbands were about my husband's age. So my daughter-in-law was, of course, devastated because this was like her second mom. So we were up chatting late last night, and then I went to bed, and my shins hurt me so bad last night because on Sunday, coming home from the airport, which I'm going to get into, I had to do a lot of walking in the Denver airport, which is a huge airport. And I think I got shin splints because my shins hurt so bad last night that I could not fall asleep. And I took and put BioFreeze on them and some Tylenol Advil combo. Nothing worked. And I did that about 9:30 in the evening. And at 3:45 this morning, I went and took one of my husband's Tramadols, and that knocked me out. So I did get some sleep, but I didn't get my video done, so it's going up late again. I feel like I just can't do catch up on anything. But anyways, I am having this celestial peppermint tea. This was sent to me, I believe, by Melodi from Melodi Made. So thank you, Melodi. You know, I have so many teas that were given to me, and I should have marked who gave me each tea. But, you know, Patty being organized, that would be something to write down in the book of memories. So if it's not Melodi, if it's somebody else that gave this to me, please correct me. And I apologize if I got that wrong. So I love peppermint. I love peppermint hot cocoa as well. So I'm excited to try this. Last week, remember, I had Tea Tuesday at my son's house, and my granddaughter told all of you that green tea was gross. Oh, she's so funny. Oh, yes. I love this peppermint tea. I love peppermint tea. Okay. Now, let's talk about my trip of the traveling end of it. You guys did see a lot of videos of the girls. I did mostly short videos. We went to their rodeo. They both did awesome. They both won prizes. Savannah is the 4-year-old, and she won more. She won a couple seconds and a third, but she's in an easier age division. Paisley won 2 6th-place wins, but she is in age category 6 through 8. There's a lot more kids in there. She's the youngest for her age category. And it's just tougher competition. So she didn't quite understand why she didn't get a buckle or why she didn't get this or that, you know, but it's part of learning. I showed my horses for many years, and so she will learn, you know. So we did the rodeo thing, and we went to Medora, which is in North Dakota, and it's a really cute touristy town. And we did some shopping, and we had a great dinner there. We went to the Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and that's where we filmed all the buffalo. and that was really nice. It was Eleanor's second birthday while I was there, so they had a birthday party for her. So it was nice to be able to spend a birthday with one of the grandkids. I think next year I'm going to go out in September for my son's birthday because he will be turning 30, I believe. Yeah, he'll be turning 30. Crazy. So I think next year I will go out in September for that. And then there was a couple days we just relaxed around the house. I went to their church with them, and they belong to a non-denominational church, and it was a beautiful church. It was an awesome ceremony. I've been raised Catholic my whole life. I'm having some issues with our priest where I don't enjoy going to Mass here anymore because the way how he is, I guess. And so I really thoroughly enjoyed going to church with them. So for my trip there and back, I had seen all these horror stories on TV about how it was so chaotic with the flights and how they were canceling flights and switching flights and can't find enough flight crews and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, oh no, that's just what you hear on the news. It's not going to happen to me. So I caught my flight. My first flight went out of Sacramento on Friday, not last Friday, but the following Friday. And I got to the airport, got checked in, found my gate, everything. My plane was on time, and off I went to Denver, Colorado. That was my first stop. I thought, see, it's just the news exaggerating. So I get off the plane. I've got 2.5 hours between landing and taking off again. No problem. Even though the Denver airport is big, that's not a problem. So I took my time. I went to the bathroom. I got something to eat. I found my gate. Everybody was starting to come into the gate. So they did drop me off at Terminal C because there was some high winds or something, and I had to be in Terminal B. And if you know the Denver airport at all, I had to then go downstairs, take a tram across the airport to get to Terminal B. Okay, I got that done all by myself. Because the only time I've ever got in the tram was when my brother traveled with me, and he was really good about finding everything. So I did find that fine. And my daughter-in-law, the one that called last night, that's from here, she had downloaded the United Airlines app on my phone. So that was very helpful. And so it did tell me when I landed, you've landed safely. Your next gate is B84. I swear I'm going to remember these numbers forever. And you are in Terminal C. You need to get to Terminal A. It will take you approximately 29 minutes on feet. Even though they have those things you stand on and it kind of shoots you down, they go super slow. But you still have to do a lot of walking. And so it says your trip will be approximately 29 minutes from where you've landed to where you need to be for your next gate. Okay, so I was like, no big deal. I still have, it's a 2.5 hour layover. And you do start boarding a half hour early, but I'm like, no problem. So I finally got to my gate, sat down. Pretty soon here comes the guy that, the flight attendant that's at the front desk. And he said, ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry to inform you, but your plane is still stuck in Springfield, Missouri. Due to weather conditions, it can't get out of Springfield. So you guys are going to be approximately an hour and a half late arriving in Dickinson, North Dakota. All right. So I was supposed to arrive at 9:05. So I called my son and I told him, hon, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to arrive till like 10:35. And he's like, that's okay, Mom. We'll wait for you. Okay. So in the meantime, we're all sitting there, and just happens we're all talking because we're in a small plane. We're going to go just to Dickinson, North Dakota. So there was only 26 people that were going to be on this plane. So we all started talking because we're wasting time waiting for the plane. And one of the gals on the plane was not going into North Dakota. She goes, well, I'm actually from Montana. And then she was from the same town as my son, which only is a population of 500 people. So I'm like, I'm sure you know my son because there's not too many people there. She goes, oh my gosh, your son was my next door neighbor. And my first night moving in there, he had the keys to open my house for me. So she knew my son real well. So that was funny too. And then I says, well, I know you're going to the same town I'm going to, so I'm following you wherever you go. So about an hour and a half later, the guy comes back on. I'm so sorry to tell you, your plane is still in Springfield, Missouri. It's going to be at least another hour and a half. So I call my son. Okay, it's going to be midnight. I said, your neighbor said she'll take me home because her car is in Dickinson. And so she said that she will take me to your house. Or you can meet us at her house because my son moved across town from her. He said, no, Mom, it's okay. I'll stay and wait for you. And so she says, what, do you not trust me? He's like, said, no, I just want to see my mama. I haven't seen her for almost 2 years. So I was like, oh my God, how sweet. So the hour and 15 minutes goes by. The next set of crew that comes up to the front desk comes up and says, I'm sorry to inform you, but your plane is still stuck in Springfield, Missouri. Oh my gosh. So this means we're not going to, it's going to be at least 1:30 before it arrives there, and almost 3 o'clock in the morning before it's going to get to Dickinson. She says, we have 16 seats left in the plane that's going to take off in 5 minutes to Bismarck, North Dakota. If you would like to switch to Bismarck, come up front to the desk now. So I called my son. He's like, yeah, Mom, that's another hour and a half away. And I said, okay, so I'm just letting you know it's going to be at least an hour and a half before this plane gets here, and then it has to take off. And he's like, get on that plane to Bismarck. So when I said, what about your next door neighbor? He's like, put her on that plane too, and I'll pick you both up, and I'll drop her off at the Dickinson airport to pick up her car. So we do that. We get to my son's house at 3:45 in the morning on Saturday morning. What a catastrophe. Oh my gosh. I was like, okay, so the horror stories are true. So I enjoyed my whole week with them. Friday comes and I'm supposed to fly out at 4:59 p.m. Arrive home in Sacramento because there's a time change at 9:05 on Friday night. Perfect. Okay. So I get to the airport about 3. My son goes in with me. And we get there and they said, your plane is stuck in Springfield, Missouri because of severe thunderstorms and rains from Springfield throughout. And even the Denver airport was having problems. I'm like, oh my gosh. So for that plane to be late in Dickinson I couldn't make my connecting flight to Sacramento, which was on time. From Denver to Sacramento left only 4 minutes late, but from Springfield, I guess they couldn't get out. So we went up to the front. The lady was super, super nice, and she said, I can get you out tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock in the morning from Dickinson here. You'll arrive in Sacramento at 12:55. Perfect. Okay. So we drove all that way. That was Friday. It's an hour from my son's house to Dickinson. And they had taken all their laundry because they don't have their laundry room finished in their house yet. Their house is like half built. Upstairs all built. Downstairs they're still working on. So my son says, well, you can go do laundry with us, Mom, and then we're going to go out for dinner and go to a movie. And I was like, oh my gosh, they had planned a date night because they left the kids home with a babysitter. And here I'm almost going to be the third wheel. But I did. I went with them. We saw Jungle Cruise. I thought it was just okay. They loved it. We had dinner and we did their laundry and came home. We got home about 11 o'clock. So we got to go to sleep and get up the next morning at 4 in the morning to get to the airport. Okay, so that was Friday. That was canceled. Now we're on to Saturday. Get to the airport on Saturday, and we're sorry, your plane is stuck in Denver or Springfield. I can't remember. But we have another connecting, so that one's going to be late, but we have another flight that's going out at 3:45 from Sacramento. And so everybody come up to the gate and we'll change things around. Okay, so they do. So there was 6 of us that were going to Sacramento from North Dakota. I'm at the back of the line. When the lady with her 4 kids signs in, there were 7 of us. When you get to me, they were out of seats. The plane was full. I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, and I don't have any more going out from Denver to Sacramento on Saturday. So I said, okay. So she's like, so we could try this all over again tomorrow, meaning Sunday, and have to do it all over again. So I told my son, and he's like, okay, well, there's nothing we can do, Mom. That's what we got to do. We got to do. So back home we go. We get home because that was the morning flight. So we get home. It's only like 8 o'clock in the morning. The kids had just woke up, and they're like, Grandma, why are you still here? And I told them, I think because God just wanted me to be with you for one more day. So we, what did we do? We went school shopping for Paisley and just to Dollar General and just did a few things. And my son made chicken tacos and I colored with the girls. When my flight was delayed again Saturday morning, I told my son, take me to Walmart. I got to get some more underwear, another outfit to wear home because I didn't do laundry at the laundromat because I thought I was going home. So I had no clean clothes. So we went to Walmart and then I said, I'm going to get some Play-Doh for the kids because for Eleanor's birthday, she got a tiny, tiny little kit and the kids loved it and was playing with it. So we went and I bought a whole bunch of Play-Doh for them so we could play Play-Doh. And we did that on Saturday and we had a nice day. Here we go again. So now it's Sunday morning. We get up at 4 in the morning to leave at 5, to get there at 6, to check in, to take off at 7:10. Okay, about 4:30, my phone goes off with my app and it says, we're sorry to inform you that your plane is going to be running late because we cannot find a flight crew for your plane. I told my son, and he's like, let's just go now, Mom. Let's go right now to see if we can get you on a different flight to Sacramento, a later flight. So at least you could, if we get there early, it won't get sold out like it did last time. I said, okay. We used the same lady to help us at the front desk every time a flight got delayed, and she was probably my age. She was so nice. The airport was full on Saturday. She saw my son. She's like, oh, hi, honey. Everybody loves my son. He's so outgoing and everybody just loves him. So he goes up to the front desk with me and she sees us again. And he goes, as much as I love my mom and my mom loves me, she wants to go home and I want her to be able to go home. So do you have something, because it wasn't going to get there. Our plane wasn't going to get there till 8:48. And my next plane was going to take off when we landed. Okay, so she looks, the 1:45 plane is full. The 7:55 at night plane is open, but I won't get home till like 10:30 at night. She says to me, this is my suggestion to you. Get on this plane that's going now. Get on this plane and go to the bathroom before you get off the plane. Don't don't stop. Don't do anything. Get off the plane. Go directly to your next gate. And sometimes they will hold the plane for you. Sometimes that plane will be running late. If you miss the next plane, then book for the 7:55 to go home that night. I was like, okay, because I really don't want to get stuck in the Denver airport because it's so big that to get a tram to go to a motel is a big old fiasco. So we took off. We landed. When we landed in Terminal B, Gate 84, my phone went off because of my app, and it says, You have landed at the Denver airport. We are now boarding for the Sacramento airport. You are at gate B84. You need to be at gate B25. This takes approximately 17 minutes of walking. I was like, I don't know if anybody can read my text back on the other end, but I'm like, I just got off the plane. I'm going as fast as I can. Please don't leave without me. So literally, I had on flip-flops that didn't fit real well, and I'm booking it through, you know, what? I had to go 60 gates to get to my next plane. And so I was getting winded. I was like, oh my gosh. So when I'd get on those things that move, I would rest for a minute, take a drink of my water, and then take off again. So I got to the gate, the Sacramento B25 gate. I was the last one in line to get through. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, Lord Jesus. I have made it through, right? And then here comes a gal right behind me. She's probably my age, a little taller than me, about the same frame. And she's almost having an asthma attack. She keeps hitting her inhaler because she was just like me, except for she landed at B40 and only had to go to 25. But so we didn't know that. I guess they knew from our apps there was 5 of us that they were holding the plane for. So we were about 8 minutes late getting off into the air because they held the plane for us. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Lord Jesus. I made it. When that second plane took off from Denver to Sacramento, I texted my son before we had to put our phones on airplane mode, and I told him, I have boarded my second plane, and I text my husband too. I thought, oh my God, what a nightmare. And then I was getting so antsy, I told my son, if I don't make this flight today, you're driving me to Idaho, and my other son that lives by me is picking me up in Idaho. So he calls my other son. He's like, dude, Mom says you're picking her up in Idaho on Monday if she doesn't make this flight. And my older son that lives here, he says, well, then we're all going to pray that Mom makes her flight. So I made it, but what a catastrophe. And for somebody who hates to fly, to have all these things happen to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to fly anywhere for a year. Excuse me. And if they still are having these problems next year, I'm not going until they wire them out. So, and the thing with needing a flight crew is that, and they told us when we got there, they had the flight crew, the plane was there, but they have to have so many hours of rest, which I totally get that. And he didn't get in till late with that plane, so they had to get him to a motel to sleep, the pilot. And so he had to sleep for so long before they could let him fly again. So I get that. I totally get that. But I guess because of the whole COVID thing, and now everybody is starting to travel again, the airlines are just way over booked, you know. So it's just crazy. But I had a wonderful time. I loved all my time with my kids, my grandkids, and my son and my daughter-in-law. And I'm loving being home. Now to move on to my husband. How is my husband doing? Well, as most of you know, before I left, he went into the hospital for an infection in his leg called cellulitis that once you have it, you always have it. And when it gets triggered and reactivated, it can get inflamed again and have a reaction. He had twisted his knee really bad, and so he kind of popped his kneecap. So they did an MRI on that, and they took a big needle and drained a bunch of water out of his knee, which he did feel some relief from that. He was only there for, well, I say only, that's not nice because it was still a lot of time, but he was there for 7 days at the hospital, and they did transfer him to a rehab center closer to home for me. Only takes me 25 minutes to get there instead of an hour, so half the time. He's been in the rehab center now for almost a week, because he has to get his strength back up because he was bedridden for a week. And he was never fully recovered from the first time. My husband is overweight, so that's a big factor in this, that we've both talked about it now, and we're both going to get really serious about our weight. And he's lost some weight since he's been in the hospital. So they're doing therapy with him now where he's just standing and sitting, putting pressure on his legs, and getting that back up, building back up his strength in his legs. He still hasn't walked any. He thinks he's coming home Wednesday. That's tomorrow. I'm like, dearie, you're not coming home tomorrow. I know you want to come home tomorrow, but you haven't taken 2 steps. You've only been walking. Well, then Thursday. So I didn't want to argue with him, but I know he's just antsy to get out. And, but he is doing much better, but he still has a ways to go. I hope for him that he can get out by like next Monday or something, and have the rest of this week and then come home either Sunday or Monday. Most of the time they don't discharge on the weekends. So, from those rehab centers, they do from hospitals all the time, but not from those rehab centers. So hopefully he comes home Monday. His insurance is only going to pay for, I think, a month, and he doesn't want to be there a month. And I know that, but I do want him to get stronger. So, and then sometimes I get a little aggravated with him. I tell him he's not pushing hard enough, and then he gets upset with me about that. And I don't mean to be mean to him, but, okay, it hurts. I understand that, but everything's going to hurt to get better. So I just hope that he, can start walking soon. So we'll see what happens. So this was a long video. I'm sorry, you guys. But I did want to inform you and everything. So now, for those of you that are new, this is Tea Tuesday. It's hashtag all lowercase, hashtag Tea Tuesday, hosted by myself and Kathy from Kathy's Favorite Things. We got this idea from watching Hey Aim. She was having tea once a week and just chatting with you. And so Kathy and I thought, what a great idea to make it an open collab and make it a hashtag Tea Tuesday, open collab, which means any of you guys are invited to participate. You don't have to ask for permission. You don't have to have a certain thumbnail. You don't have to have a certain time on Tuesdays. We just ask you that you upload it on Tuesdays, but you can upload it in the morning, the afternoon, the night, whenever. You can do whatever you want when you do your Tea Tuesday. You can craft, you can just chat, you can have a formal tea, you can have an informal tea. I've had some formal teas, now I'm having the informal teas lately because I'm so busy. And I did have Monday and Tuesday off this week, thank goodness, but I feel like I still didn't get a whole lot accomplished because I'm running up to the hospital to see my husband. So everybody with the swap and glues, like I said, please still be patient. I hope to get home tonight from the hospital and open up several and do several. So, I did, like I said, I did get my Dollar Tree video up, and I just appreciate all of you for being understanding with me. I did watch a lot of videos the other day, but I still have not watched near the videos that I need to watch. And I just appreciate everybody being so understanding with me about my husband, and that I can't catch up on like swap and glues right now. And I'm going to catch up on them all. It's just taking me a little more longer than I expected. And I've got some friend mail I need to open up. And then I went on my vacation. And so I haven't gotten everything done as I should in a timely manner. But I thank all of you for all your understanding. I really do. I really appreciate it all. And, I want to be able to support all you guys and have you support me back. And I try to answer all my comments. And, there's a lot of you that are very supportive to me that don't have channels. And I want to make sure that you know that I do appreciate all of you. And I do thank all of you for supporting me. And so I'm trying to answer all those comments as well. So I'm going to wrap this up now because it's a half hour already. And I'm so sorry about that. But you guys all have a great day. I'm going to head out to the hospital here soon and then when I get home, I hope to catch up on a lot of stuff. So go over, if I have time, I will put in the description box below all the different channels that have done a Tea Tuesday today. If not, just hashtag it, all lowercase, hashtag Tea Tuesday, and go over and watch everybody else's, okay? So you guys have a great day. Take care. I'll see you back here real soon. Bye-bye.